Alright boys, what's going on? Today's going to be a rough response video. I thought this is one of those responses that have actually almost caught me in their grasp. But then comes the real truth nuke. I was notified by some furry about some video some guy made referring to anti-furries and how stupid they were. If you know me, I'm not an anti-furry. But I was very intrigued to see the Crimson Fur situation, in which I went to analyze and found what I believe to be some misinformation about me, and maybe some other things regarding my friend over something that was in his past a while back. And note, this was a similar guy I talked about in my last video, so I decided to take a dig in, and the amount of dug up dog shit said lots to me. First, I think it's best we analyze the video, so we can get the best picture. So as said, let's begin fellas.
In this video that they point to, at this age, Mepios was around 17 to 18, while Spear's age was 12. As for Miyuki's, I couldn't find any information about their age, but if it's anything near Spirit's age, it's a bit concerning, to say the least. Now, Mepios did release an apology that basically confirms that, yeah, he did date these furries. Granted, he says that this is in the past and he's a changed man.
Now, despite these controversies, a bit recently, Mepios had posted an apology, and since Mepios isn't the best in English, I fixed the English a bit, and it goes as follows. Greetings everyone. I heard about a lot of people who are talking about my past and keep judging me. Let's talk about my bad past. Remember Luna 345? She was my first ex who brainwashed me. Second was Miyuki, and third was Spirit. We used to date each other. But I was wrong, as online dating was unnecessary. I should be apologizing to you guys for what I've done in my past. Because of it, this was a very long time ago, but I have changed. I have made terrible mistakes that have hurt the people that I cared about the most, and I'm terribly sorry. I'm deeply ashamed of my terrible judgment and my actions. If you still have not forgiven me, you can judge me or do whatever you like to me, because I deserve it. And so, random anti-furry on the internet, you're asking me if I'm still dating a random furry? My answer is no, because I should focus on myself. I don't do that anymore.
Sure mentioned that this was revealed in the whole Crimson Fur drama, so I guess anti-furries are fine with a guy that can date 3 furries that are way younger than him, but God forbid someone looks like chlorophyll titties.
Now, what is my view on this? What Mepios did obviously wasn't right, and I think we all know that, but I still do forgive him. Compared to Major Klug, who was known for his gore videos, he never apologized. But Mepios did. And on that fact, that Mepios doesn't speak perfect English, it is true by his apology that it is possible that he could have been taken advantage of. Now this part. Now notice how I said there was a possibility, but the thing here is, I didn't say it was a high possibility. I just said the word possibility itself. I also do believe that adults can still be taken advantage of by kids, because kids can still lie and fake emotions to get their way. I mean, notice how you even said Luna lied about her age.
I should emphasize that Luna did technically lie about her age too.
And she was 13, which is 1 year away from being 12. Lying about her age can still be used to take advantage of someone, can it not? I mean, it's the internet. You don't always have to show your face, so a 10-year-old can just lie and claim that they are 21. Now after that, there's a bit more information which I don't seem to need to react to, but before I do so, 3030 here was even someone who helped me to make a video, and he even specified that he thought Mepios was chill himself not too long ago. People do change. Not always, but if the people persecuting him back then even think he's changed ways, I think it could say something about him. I also recalled Buttergoat having a video on Major Klug which no longer exists, it seems. The only evidence was a old community post regarding him. Why am I mentioning this? Because Mepios had an animation where he specifically hunted Major Klug due to his acts. What sense would it make for someone to like children and make an animation of destroying a child predator? I mean, does it immediately mean he's not one? No. But still, regarding today, Mepios remains online, and no other records of him speaking to minors are existent, as the most recent events relating were 2 years ago. Also, this isn't important, but not to mention, I was in the animation myself as well, so that's pretty nice. I would also like to say, even though I made this video against Oral's claims, even Oral himself doesn't hate me and still disagrees, in which I completely understand and we are still on good amends it seems. Going forward, here's one segment that really caught my attention due to how false it was. If I had a son who was gooning to Plants vs. Zombies, I'd be horrified and disappointed. They would get the worst ass whooping known to man. Now, this is ironic because despite me saying that, the complete opposite happened. As you know, Crimson has gone under a lockdown and even archived his Discord. You can tell it's his by previous messages we've exchanged, and I even have shown concern and purposely went out of my way to check on him. I even let him know of the content people have been posting mocking him, and have had normal convos of us talking about idiots like these. Before I even got to talk to Crimson, I myself contacted Ava, in which she of course showed worry as well. What really took me by surprise is how I found a screenshot of Mepios with a changed profile picture and username saying he left the anti-furry community, in which he did, and even Crimson himself agreed that Mepios wasn't as bad as people like Talented YouTuber and Hyperportions. I even had a post 3 months ago where I tried to notify some of my anti-furry viewers to not indulge in the drama and to stop harassing Crimson, as it was clearly getting out of hand. So you tell me, Buttergoat, was I really the bad guy that my past self said put me out to be? Actions speak louder than words. Now, the next video, dear viewers, if you watch me, shit's going down. But before you unsubscribe and claim I'm a furry, let me get to the point after Buttergoat here is done explaining this. Spoiler warning, it's my past, and it is no good. Okay, so there's more. I have stopped since I don't want something too explicit to come up. But to explain in short, let me get things straight of what occurred here. So back then, I went after 18+ accounts on Twitter purposely to harass them or actually try to convert them to Christianity, in which I was younger and dumber. So obviously I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I regret it till this day. There was even proof of the time I used to goon, which I've mentioned in a few videos I believe, that I suffered with a goon addiction once before, which thank God I'm out of. But before the subscribers peak down, let me explain one thing. The last post I made relating to me commenting on NSFW furry accounts, saying something like repent or you're an idiot, is like 8 fucking months ago. 8 months ago. I understand, yes, it was indeed bad. But the pattern I'm starting to notice is, Buttergoat is digging deep into the past. Which I get if you're speaking about the Crimson situation, but why me if I've changed? And you know, I'm not even anti-furry, so why am I in this video? And I specifically was going to make a video on why I both dislike furries and anti-furries. But I read the description, so I guess me being there doesn't immediately mean he thinks I'm an anti-furry. But I still find it unnecessary to include me just to bash over shit I did months ago that I've moved on from. He even dipped into the time with the CEO of trolling drama, where CEO kept claiming one of my characters was my imaginary furry girlfriend from 2022, which I unfortunately had. But I tried to tell you guys, for the last damn time, I am a changed person. I got the balls to admit this happened, in which it did, but I've grown up. But just because I have anthro characters does not mean I'm going to goon to them. When I see NSFW artists, I don't directly go to their comment section and say something anymore. I don't even use Twitter anymore, it's a fucking hellhole. You even saw at the previous screenshot where I proved it has been 8 months since my last comment, which was on a NSFW furry. Like, come on. And then you bring up the VOR video I've made recently in which you say the following. I usually wouldn't hold this sort of stuff against people because it's such a minor issue, not even worthy of a call out other than to publicly shame people. But if you're constantly grandstanding about how morally superior you are despite doing gooning as well, it makes you look like a hypocritical jerk. Okay, but didn't I change? I did just post a screenshot that showed my last comment on a NSFW account was 8 months ago. And yes, I'm showing this again because some people will miss the point. Also, dear Buttergoat, you even said you agreed with me when I clearly said I didn't make this video because of VOR. I did it because of VOR said is So why are you agreeing with me and saying I have a good point, then continuing to try and make me look like an idiot and still pretend as if you're correct? At timestamp 507 of this video, I used AI to look at potential issues with forced sadism, and it came up with 10 reasons, 3 of them being things such as normalization of violence, misinterpretation of consent, and objectification. Those are things to be rightfully worried about. Also, do you not know how bad porn is for you? Like, yeah, people can do whatever they want, but that doesn't mean it won't affect them. Also, I was going to make a video on why personally I think YIF is zoophilia. So why would it make sense for me to like Goonery, Furry, and SFW if I'm making a video that labels it as zoophilic? Now going further into the video, he goes along saying this sentence. This is the main reason why I don't do commentary, because it's way too common for people to pretend that they're perfect and have a higher morality to judge others, just to beat others down while having their own skeletons in the closet. I'm not going to even hide that I have pretty unfavorable flaws of my own. In the worst cases, these channels rarely offer any actual substance for conversation and sometimes boil down to, haha, this person is so bad. I'm not saying everyone who does commentary is bad, and if that sort of content floats your boat, then I'm not saying you can't watch it. It's just a personal opinion. Now, is it true that people pretend to have a higher morality when doing commentary, as he said? I personally believe that is very correct. However, what skeleton is there to beat in the closet if it's been gone for, once again, 8 fucking months? And with the stupid imaginary shit, that is now 3 years ago. I think it's safe to say that quote-unquote skeleton has already been decomposed. And yes, Buttergoat, you do have flaws. Of course I do as well, as you saw from my past, which are gone, but still some reside, just not pertaining to lust no longer. Also, honestly, I find it ironic how he claims channels like mine apparently offer no evidence on why someone is bad, and they act like you have to take their word for it. But if you noticed, I literally explained the issue with it in this video at the near end, and notice how in Buttergoat's video, where he left off is all the way at the beginning. Of course you're not going to pertain the information if you aren't watching the whole video, in which you even said in the comment that you rewatched. Are you sure you rewatched it if you made this mistake of claiming I had no quote-unquote actual substance? And just to mention once more, I specifically made this video as criticism, not exposing this guy, criticism. If that definition of beating down others is criticism, that would be hypocritical, considering you made a full-on 2-hour video criticizing anti-furries, not saying I'm defending them or anything, but I don't find criticism beating down others, those are your words. And they already turned on you at this point. And yeah, of course not everyone who does commentary is bad, but at times like these, it's really easy to confuse things yourself if you don't have enough knowledge on the topic. If there's anything I think we should learn, it is that I'm not as bad as I seem. I do have a bad past, but it doesn't entirely define me as a person. I'm still growing and aging, and I believe I'm way more mature than what I was back then, where I'd get angry if people didn't share similar morals. Nowadays, I'll still disagree with people, but I won't force it down their fucking throat, and just be a huge dick about it. Before I end off this video, I would like to say Mepios is now known as Mr. Dark Death, if you guys are wondering. But with all I've said, I've concluded that this video made me look worse than how I actually am now. But once again, don't harass Buttergoat, because to be honest, he only went by what he saw at the time. He can't obviously contact Crimson, so mistakes would have occurred as it seems for part of the things. But with that, this has been the response video to address the current situation. Have a good rest of your day.